How much is Marcus Rashford worth? How much is he worth this summer alone with everything that's happened this season? Who is out there that wants to buy Marcus Rashford? Is the reality... Oh, is it real? Do Manchester United actually want to sell Marcus Rashford? Are they trying to look like they want to keep him and work with him? It's according to reports, it's both ways right now. People are saying that United are open to it, but don't want to jump the gun because they don't want to be the ones that get left looking stupid after saying that Manchester United wanted to sell him, and then he ends up staying and the new manager comes in, or Ten Hag carries on and everything works out fine. There's a lot going on with Manchester United again right now. Transfers are hotting up. Targets are being mentioned. Ten Hag, as we spoke this morning, could be on his way out of Manchester United and has already got his next job lined up. We don't know. There's more on that as well this evening. I'm going to talk to you about that and get your opinions on that if you didn't see the earlier show as well. There was a vote today from the Premier League. I did say it was coming. The vote was in favour of the actual bleeding wage cut. Oh, God, there's so much going on with United right now, honestly. But we're starting with Marcus Rashford. Is it real? Can we see Marcus Rashford going? I want to break it down. I'll give you my opinion, and I'm going to come straight in on you guys. I promise you. This time I'm coming straight in on you guys and get your opinions on it. It's Forever United TV. I'm Adam. As always, people, make sure you please do give the video a like. Hit that subscribe button if you're tuning in for the first time. And get your comments in after the show is finished as well, or if you're playing catch up, get your comments in the comment section. I want to know what you think on all topics within the video. It has all been going on today, guys, hasn't it? It really has. Evening, everyone. Hope you're all doing fantastic. Hope everyone has had a decent Monday after what was a disappointing weekend, to say the least. But we move on, and going forward, we can only look, like most people have said, to the summer and the hope that something's going to happen there, rather than clinging on to any hope that something positive will come from what we've got left of the actual season. I think most people have given up right now. By the way, guys, 8 o'clock tonight, make sure you're tuned in. Episode 2 of the new United Couple podcast is out. Episode number 2. If you haven't already seen episode number 1, go on, catch up after this show. You got plenty of time. The link is in the description for the channel. Give it a subscribe and get your comments on that first episode. But 2 is out at 8 o'clock this evening, guys. I know you're all excited for it. It is a good one. I'm always going to say that, but it is. All right, anyway, who is in there with me right now? So, where are we at with Manchester United after this morning? So, I left you this morning talking about Erik Ten Hag. Ajax, very, very interested. Open door. Top target for them to be the manager next season. Ahead of Potter, ahead of everyone else, they only want Ten Hag. There is rumour that he might actually be looking to go elsewhere in Europe, and not just Ajax. I don't think we really need to touch on that. We may get into that later on if we've got time. But hot topic, first of all, Marcus Rashford. Well, what came from the Marcus Rashford thing and why the news is circulating is that Ineos are open to selling everyone. There were 3 players on a list that they would not consider bids for, which is Rasmus Højlund, Alejandro Garnacho, and Kobbie Mainoo. As you'd expect, they're open to everyone else. No one is off the table. Is anyone going to come in for any Manchester United players? Not 2 days ago when the game was done. I was talking to people outside of Old Trafford, and it's like, would you lose sleep if any of this squad left? And the majority was saying no, apart from the obvious 3 again that we just mentioned there. So the club are in the same thought or mind process. Everyone is reporting on this. And obviously, the conversation comes about regarding Marcus Rashford because his name is not on that list. Now, reports are, and what comes out on this is this, basically. I'm going to get into what was said from David Ornstein, first of all. You can see the tweet at the bottom of your screen there. So to read it out in full, because that's just the top half of it, is Manchester United will consider selling Marcus Rashford if a substantial offer arrives and he tells the club he wants to leave. However, United are not proactively looking to sell the forwards. United's preference is to keep Rashford and work with him and to get him back to his best and help him return to the form of previous years. That's from David Ornstein of The Athletic. Now, everyone said that. Everyone's gone in on this Rashford story, The Telegraph, a lot of other publications as well. But David Ornstein will bring it up because when he does say something, it usually means it is happening. So word would have been yeah, if you want to come and get him, come and bid. I've put a poll up in the chat just to test the water and see where you guys are at. Marcus Rashford next season, having a good season, might be worth a lot more. So what I want to know from you is, and if you are actually watching the video later on and can't participate in the poll, then the options are this, Rashford this summer. What is he worth right now after the season he's just had? 50 mil, 60 mil, 70 mil or more. there's 8% of people think that Marcus Rashford is worth more than 70 million right now, which is crazy for me. I think 50 million after the season he's had, I would snatch your hand off. I really would. Bye-bye. See you later. Let's move on. Let's rebuild. That's where I'm at with it. United will need to start learning when to sell players at the right price. When is the right time to let a player go? For all sorts of reasons, this is the right time to let Marcus Rashford go for me. And I do believe that if there is anyone out there, am I being mean when I say crazy enough to take him? Because you just don't know where he's at right now. Manchester United have a closed book. You remember the old internal discipline that was going on with Ten Hag and everything? Nobody knows where Marcus Rashford's head's at. Nobody knows what issues are going on with him behind the scenes, if there is any. And you are not going to risk that high amount of money if you are not sure about a player. Like, you know what he's done before, but that's before. Everything changes in football. Everything changes in players. So to look at Marcus Rashford from the outside right now, you have to take everything into consideration. Off-field, on-field, nothing is appealing. Like, you know what he's capable of, but has this season damaged him to a point where no one is going to risk spending any money on him? And Manchester United, I don't like to say it in this way, but it is the right term to use, which is stuck with him. United have said they want to work with him and take him back to his best. What is his best? When players are coming into Manchester United, Marcus Rashford is not the best we've got. If we are going out to buy players, then are you going to play Marcus Rashford ahead of Garnacho if United get Elise? The fans would be in uproar. And right now I look at it this way. Marcus Rashford has to accept a bit part role at Manchester United. He does. He is a bench player. Because next season, when Ineos spend their money and another forward comes in, and Garnacho is being played, we know this because Garnacho, Mainu and Højlund are the only players that are not on this list for any price whatsoever. So Højlund's a definite. Garnacho's a definite. These are two players in Marcus Rashford's so-called positions that he can play at the football club. So Rashford, for me, is a bench player next season at best for him right now. We don't know what's happening right now. We've got no updates on his injuries. We're probably not going to know until Friday when the press conference comes out from Ten Hag. So Marcus Rashford's in complete limbo right now. I personally don't think he's going to go this summer for all the reasons that I just said. Manchester United actively are looking like they're going to be restrained from spending a lot of money or the right amount of money that's going to take United forward to the point where we think is acceptable this summer alone. So they are going to have to cling on to someone. He's the only player that's really comfortable right now out of all of the ones that are under scrutiny within the fan base, at least with his contract situation. He's only just signed a 5-year deal, 4 more years left on that deal. So he ain't going anywhere. His agents are not going to push him to go anywhere. Manchester United really right now, with the situation with Greenwood and Sancho, can ill afford to lose a player. I know no one wants him here. The attitude stinks. He's got to do a lot of making up to convince United fans. Like I already said, I want him gone in the summer. That's just my opinion after what happened. But the reality tells us otherwise, doesn't it? And we know what this football club is like. Are Ineos going to change anything? Everything that's in the way of Ineos right now is going to make sure that Marcus Rashford is not gone this summer at least. I am fully convinced of it. I don't think we need to even think about anyone coming in. I mean, there's another story here I'm just going to bring up before I come to the chat, guys, which is from Peter Hall, who is around Manchester United constantly, always there. PSG have cooled their interest in Marcus Rashford and will actively pursue other targets ahead of the summer window. So nobody is in the market for Marcus Rashford. That is the state of affairs right now. So the price, well, someone's going to have to come in and really convince Manchester United to let him go now. And I just don't think the price is there for Manchester United in their heads. We can all talk like we have in the poll here. It's hovering between 50 and 60 million at the moment. Some even going as high as 70. I don't think United would accept that. But honestly, I don't think anyone's going to spend 50 million on Marcus Rashford going off the season he's just had with the unknown like I just described. Into the chat we go. First of all, a load of new members have just dropped in. Thanks mainly part to some very generous donations from you-know-who. First of all, the Modern Samurai, the legend, the man, the mod. I think that worked quite well there, didn't it? The legend, the man, the mod. That is Mr. MDRN Samurai. The Modern Samurai has dropped 5 memberships in. Ryan Ball has taken 1. British Bulldog, Barry Enright, Dave Fairfull, and Abs MUFC. Not only has he gone and dropped 5 in, but Post Life has dropped another 5 in. Thank you so much. Amazing stuff. They've gone to the Champ, Dread, Matthew Griffin, Satinja, and Brett. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Modern Samurai, and thank you, Post Life. Both massive, massive legends of the channel. Thank you so much. Loving that. Right. Chat time, guys. Get your comments in. Talk to me about Rashford. I want you to say to me, I want you to give me your reality stance on this. Not what you would like, not what you think should be done, not what you think everybody knows is right, but what you think will happen. That's what I want in the comment section from this one. Rain Shevlin says, let's hope it's good clear out of 8, 9, 10 players. Good clear out of 8, 9, 10 players, sorry. Can't wait to see what Ineos are all about. 40 million or higher, instant sell for Jacob. Great thumbnail, says UK Strains. You can thank Kaz for that one. Legend. Mark Wainwright. Mark Lambridge, sorry. Right. I'm off to the girls' netball. We'll listen later. Oh, thanks. Got to pick that comment out. Mark usually comes up with some great ones, but yes. Enjoy yourself. Have a good one, Mark. Hopefully your kid has a good one and gets the win as well. Or is it just training? Has a good training session. I'm babbling on with myself. I got that one all wrong there. Why should we take 50 for Rashford when other clubs want us to pay over the odds? Because we're Manchester United and we're different to every other club, Dana. I'm afraid United are in a situation where we've protected our players to a point where we end up not being able to sell them because no one progresses. Like, there's no responsibility for players at Manchester United for underperforming. There's no accountability at the football club. And when that happens and it continues and continues and continues, then players regress, and it naturally happens with every single player at the football club. Everything that's going to change this summer is all the hope that Manchester United fans have got right now, and I hope that Ineos are true to their word and they do get to work regarding all of the players. Like, more news coming out about players on the leaves. Like, one message just said there in the comment section that let's see what Ineos are made of. I cannot wait. Well, we know for certain that multiple reports are saying this now, that Martial, Raphael Varane and Brandon Williams will all leave this summer. That's on free transfers. Freeing up, if you count it together, Brandon Williams on 65 on his own, 250 for Martial, so that's what, 315. Added to that, the 350, 320, what I think it is for Raphael Varane and what he is on right now, you're looking just shy of £800,000 a week in wages gone from them 3 players alone. Ineos exodus will start very, very soon. As in, soon as that June transfer dates, and you all know everyone's transfers in football starts at that June time. When that comes, when we're just thinking about our holidays, Manchester United are going to really get to work. Like, I wish they'd got to work actually in the season. That would have been nice of them, wouldn't it? But yeah, in terms of what's going on behind the scenes, that's when it's all kicking off, people. United Spotlight. If we got 50 million for Rashford, I'd drive him to his new club. He ain't worth anywhere near what people think he is. It's true. Evening to you as well, Modern Samurai. Jacob says Marcus Rashford is actually a championship player on 250k a week. He's not. His basic is 300, and then he's got his incentives on top of that. But that, let's not forget, like that, guys, that's going to come down next season. So 25% off that poor bugger, he's going to be suffering again. MT, what about Yeovil Town? My nephew plays for Yeovil. Not sure what that's about, Neil. So, private conversation between you and someone else. I'll move on. Mr. Miracle, we need to push for 70 million for Rashford. Ineos won't let him go for lower. Honestly, guys, I don't think if someone came in for 70 million for him, I don't think they'd sell him. That's just how I feel. I think they've got ridiculously high expectations for a price tag for Marcus Rashford. They still believe he's something that he's not. And this is like the delusional side of what comes out of Manchester United, I feel like. He's not that player. He isn't in the top 20 forwards in the world. He doesn't belong on that £70 million price tag. He doesn't. He's not there. You tell, is he in the top 20 forwards in the world right now? Like, that's where you have to be wanting that amount of money. Like, at the moment, who's ahead of him? Bowen, Gordon, Foden. Like, there's so many players. They're just like general wide and inside forwards. Like, you can get into the main strikers as well. Like the Watkins, like the like the Isaacs, like the Ivan Tonys of the world. Like, there's so many players in this league that are ahead of him. Like, some would argue, like, look, you've got like Saka, Martinelli at Arsenal, the forwards at Spurs, like, are better than Marcus Rashford. He's not in the top 20 in this league, in my opinion. Never mind Europe. You cannot ask for that amount of money. It's crazy, but they will do. They will do. Rob Cross has said if he's been sold, they have to pay his wages or only loans. We will be paying anything over 50 million. Would be great to get him out considering his wage demand. I'm not sure who that is, actually. Sorry. What if we get a new manager? He could get the best out of Rashford. This could well happen. Could well happen. Great to single out the three not for sale. Yeah, like, it's easy, Babs, to single out the players that aren't for sale, and they're the ones that everybody wants to keep. Do you know what? Actually, some people have actually been going in on Rasmus Højlund recently. I just find it baffling how some of the fans actually are finding an issue with Ras. I know he has his flaws, but like, the kid was 20. He's just come to the football club at that age. He wasn't prolific when we bought him. And he is a player that actually has improved this season. So I think we have to just leave Rasmus alone. Like, let's judge him in another couple of years, or maybe after next season, after he's been here 2 years. But like I said earlier on today, when it comes to Rasmus Højlund, look at what he's walked into. He's walked into two other fully fledged England international forwards at Manchester United, the highest paid players at the club, in Sancho and Rashford, and they're his role models. So God help the kid. Like, seriously, he has done amazing to get what he's got out of this season, along with Garnacho in that forward line, with everything that's going on at the football club. So let's just leave that one alone, please. Benchford. I mean, guys, how would you feel if Marcus Rashford was on the bench next season, like, put in his place? We can't sell him. The realism is that no one's going to bid for him because Man United either want too much and no one's going to risk giving anywhere near what the club want for him. Like, would you be happy with Marcus Rashford on the bench next season? Like, bit part player, being taught a lesson. Like, I feel like that's where he's going to be. Like, if Ineos invest, they're not going to want their players sat on the bench. Like, I know that sounds stupid, and I know we're looking at a completely different structure, and we're not talking about the Joe Glazers loving Anthony Martial, which is why Jose Mourinho couldn't sell him. It's a different scenario, I think, with this one, because I feel like they're bringing players in to play their certain style of football, and quite clearly Marcus Rashford has failed this season. I don't think they're going to be spending money right now, with 3 years to go until this so-called turnaround happens, and relying on Marcus Rashford while that player sits on the bench. If they're buying players, they're buying players to come into the first team. It has to be that way. Otherwise, they'll be waiting forever and a day for Marcus Rashford to finally find his form. He may find it for one season, and that's it. We wait again. Another season on, another season off. That's Marcus Rashford for you. That's how he is. New cap will force United to pay lower wages in future, says Barbara. I mean, Babs, the wages are going to come down anyway. Like, Manchester United, for any player that's actually entering the last year of their contract, which there is a few this season, them players are not going to be offered more money. They're going to be offered less if they want to stay. It's fantastic. It is fantastic. If anyone wasn't tuned into the lunchtime show, I was talking about the news that there was going to be a salary cap, player cap, wages cap, everything. Basic spending cap on the Premier League big guns. So we said it was going to happen. They were being discussed as we were on air talking about it, or live, and it did happen. And they voted categorically, or the majority voted for a salary cap, spending cap, wage cap, player agent cap to come in to the Premier League. So the PSR rules are 100% going to change now. That is pretty much nailed on after that result today. So what this means is that clubs, after the new financial fair play PSR rules change in 2025 to 26, clubs will be able to spend upwards, I think it was around about 80-85% of their turnover, their revenue, which is a lot if you're Manchester United, Manchester City, Newcastle, Arsenal, Spurs, all these big stadium clubs with massive amounts of revenue would have an advantage over everyone else at the bottom. So for the vote to go through, the lower Leicester, so-called Leicester clubs have come forward and said, we want a spending cap on everyone in the league. So that means that they can only spend a certain amount, which is like the similar revenue, TV revenue money that the lower teams get in the league. Now, if this comes in, it means that Manchester United will be okay financially. We're never going to run into financial fair play issues ever again, especially not in the Premier League, different in Europe. But as far as PSR are concerned, if there is that cap, then all it's going to do is drive prices down for English players within the English league. Because with this deal, the EPL is getting their deal as well for the money from the Premier League to go down into the pyramid. So everyone's in agreement. So everybody's going to have to sort of like curb the big wages, curb the big transfer fees, because clubs are not going to be able to afford it. They're not going to be able to afford it. The interesting thing from this is, how will clubs be punished if they fall out of the rules? And if they do, is it just fines? Well, clubs will actually go out of the rules and take the fines. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Premier League uphold the point deduction rule in all of this as well. So they did vote for it. It did go through. There were 4 teams that didn't want it to happen, which was Aston Villa, Chelsea refused to vote, and Manchester City and Manchester United were the teams that didn't want this to happen. What a surprise. Arsenal, I think, fell in line with it because they're okay in their structure and they think that this is hampering Manchester City, so they will be able to close the gap on them. Manchester United, on the other hand, needed it to go the other way, and that's why they voted against it. So we are never going to overspend, but it does mean that we cannot take that step up ahead of everyone else in the league like I said we could last time. This new extra rule on top is going to stop United, Newcastle, and all of the rich clubs running away with it right now. So that's where that is at. That's going to be put through, and that's where everything is going to be. So yes, in terms of what Barbara just said in the chat there, wages will drop. Wages are dropping anyway. Obviously, Manchester United right now, in terms of outgoings, they're in a fantastic position because we're out of the Champions League. So straight away, across the board, 25% pay cut on all wages. Players are going to have left. So if you think about it, break it down in terms of wages at Manchester United right now. It's, like we just said, definitely going this summer is the free agents. 800 and odd thousand a week in wages gone. Like, if you take Greenwood and Sancho off that, you're talking, like 1.5 million near enough. Like, you've got other players that are going as well. Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, all their wages. You're probably looking at £2 million worth of wages gone. 25% pay cut on everyone else who's still at the football club. And then no one getting an extra deal or getting more than what they've got right now. So Ineos are actually, in terms of spend on wages with Omar Barada, and he's like rubbing his hands together. This is making my job easy, this. So, yeah, absolute massive turnaround in terms of financial fair play and where the clubs are at. Adam, on a serious note, do you think anybody will pay 50 million for Rashford? And if yes, who? No, and if anyone, it'd be PSG. But like I just said, from reports, they have cooled their interest in Marcus Rashford. They don't want any part of him because of everything that's going on. And we're stuck with him. I don't think anyone's going to spend 50 million. I don't think Ineos or Manchester United would accept 50 million anyway. I think it has to be in excess of 80, and I think we will turn heads at the football club. That's just my opinion on that. David Lumsden says, spot on, Adam. Thank you, mate. Honestly, who's buying any of the underperformers here at United? We have no senior bright spots. Honestly, our best players, get this, yeah? Manchester United's best players right now, barring, Mainu and Garnacho, squeezing Bruno in just, maybe, that's debatable as well. Our best players at Manchester United right now are the players that are out on loan. It's true. Sancho tearing it up in the Bundesliga. You look at Palestre scoring goals for Granada, having a great time playing every single week. Alvaro Fernandez has turned it around at Benfica. He's scoring goals, getting game time again. And then you look at Mason Greenwood, who's got over 20 goal contributions for Getafe this season. All of Man United's value is players that we actually cannot use, or the manager doesn't know how to get them into the team. It's absolutely mental where we're at right now as a football club and the position that we're actually in. Crazy. I've just seen Kaz has actually put a super chat in. Guys, I think that takes some appreciation there, doesn't it? Kaz has just donated £5 in there on a super chat with a link to our new podcast channel, United Couple. Love that. Didn't need to do the super chat, but that's just how nice she is. It's going straight back in the pot anyway. But please do click on that link, guys. I'll pin that one up there. Oh, I can't actually do it. It won't let me do it because it's a super chat. Never mind. But you can all see it anyway, guys. Get onto the link. Episode 2 is coming out this evening. Episode 1 has already gone. Give Mctominay a 5-year contract. Unfortunately, it's not good news for Earl Scott here. I'm waiting for clarification of it. I've put the message in. Reports are Scott McTominay's season, Euros, and the start of next season are done. He is, unfortunately, I'm waiting for the severity of and what injury it actually is to come through, but he's done basically for the season and the rest of the summer. Like I said, you can give your opinion on Scott McTominay. You can say he's not good enough. You can say he's just been clinging on to Manchester United. The debate is there about Scott McTominay and Manchester United. But one thing you can't say, and I will never say, is actually, I'm saying that completely wrong there. What I want to say is that I'm absolutely devastated for the lad like that. And the Euros for Scotland especially. My heart goes out to Scott McTominay. That's horrendous. You know what? Sat in the stands and Kaz messaged me. She wasn't at the game the other day with me. She messaged me and she said, you can see Scott's really angered that he's injured there. Something seems wrong. And it's dead right. It's like he knew. When you're a player and you're tuned in as much as Premier League players are and top athletes are, you kind of know, don't you? I'm guessing that when something goes wrong, they know their bodies, and he's done. He's gone over in that challenge. And that's his season and Euros done, finished, gutted, absolutely gutted for him. I wouldn't wish it on your worst hated player. You don't want anyone to be injured at all. But Scott, absolutely, it's horrible, isn't it, to think about. He was planning his whole summer, looking forward to his first Euros. I think it's his first Euros actually, but it's devastating news for Scott, and yeah, we'll get clarification on that when it comes, but yeah, ligaments is my guess, definitely, like Modern Samurai says there in the chat, and yeah, sadly Man United have another injury. We're not surprised with the injuries, we're just gutted that this one is so bad, and it's another heavy one right at the end of the season again. It's devastating for him, and yeah, best wishes goes out from everyone here at Forever United TV for Scott McTominay. Hopefully you're all right, lad, and you recover very quickly and play a part next season, especially with it being the last year of your contract and the unknown of Manchester United right now and what's going on. That's the worst time that a player can get injured. You don't know how he's going to recover from it. Are United going to take a risk on giving him a new deal after that? You don't even want to think about it. It's one of them horrible movie scenarios, isn't it, where the superstar gets a really bad injury just on the cusp of making it big or making that big move, and sorry, but these injuries need to just F off, man. God. I don't know, man. It just puts a sour taste in your mouth, doesn't it? It does. Louise says, gutted for McTominay on this one. He knew straight away too. He did. So many players need to go, says Glenn. Kaz, you guys got it today. Thank you, Adam. Right, the shirt. Got you. I will check that out. Fred says, I hope you've negotiated a wardrobe allowance for the podcast. Steady on now. Come on. Steady on. I hope it's not as bad as they think for Scott McTominay, says Andrew. I know. Did Scott get mishandled? No, it was an impact injury, Andrew. It just like a full-on incident in the game. It wasn't like it was a recurrence of an injury and coming on and being rushed back. It was fully impact. I'm not even going to start having a go at anyone at United for it. It's just really, really unlucky. And yeah, his whole summer is over according to reports. We'll wait for full confirmation, but the The noises and the stories coming out do not look good at all for Scott McTominay. Guys, please give the video a like. We're just creeping up to the 200 mark. Maybe even get close to the 300 tonight. That would be fantastic. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel as well, guys. Download our SofaScore app. Bottom right-hand corner of your screen is your QR code. Or you can drop in the description below. It's got a link there, SofaScore. It's completely free. The best football app out there for all your in-game stats, odds, ratings, everything going on. All of what you need for your team, on and off the pitch, all news and everything else that comes with it. It's all there on SofaScore. Go and check it out, everyone. The best. Adam, have you seen the links of Ten Hag back to Ajax? I talked about it all morning, Lee. All morning. And just to go back into that, to carry on the conversation regarding that and where we're up to with it. Ineos will not make an announcement or announce any decision on Ten Hag's Manchester United future until after the FA Cup final. We knew that already. That's a definite. More news is Ajax are interested in reopening, in reappointing Ten Hag this summer, but he and his coaching team would be reluctant to walk away from Manchester United. Even if Ten Hag loses his job, there is an acknowledgement the coach may prefer to seek an opportunity at one of Europe's stronger leagues than return to Holland. So not as keen. Like, he has had talks and it is open for him. He is interested in it. Everything that we're talking about has happened definitely with Ajax, but he is just holding back at the moment. What we on? Well, just past the 200 mark on the likes, guys. Thank you very much. And yes, I can see the subscribers also going up. Love that. We're building our community. If you do want to be part of the membership scheme of Forever United TV, the link, the little button, the join button is at the bottom of your screen. Or if you drop into the description, there is a link there as well, guys. Lots of people have donated memberships to many people in the chats as well. So if you're active and you're moving, you may get lucky as well. We have a fantastic community here, and we are doing another watch along this week. It will be for one of the Champions League games. I'm not sure which one yet. I'm going to keep you all posted and up to date with that one, so stay tuned to the members community section and members videos as well, guys, if you are a member, and you will see all of the updates there. Just checking around for any updates on anything right now. We have got some Mason Greenwood news coming out, so I've seen this popping up here and there as well. And that is that Manchester United are hoping to cash in on Mason Greenwood this summer, but have not ruled out the possibility of him returning to Old Trafford next season if they do not receive a reasonable offer. Now, what is a reasonable offer for Mason Greenwood? We move on from Rashford straight on to another, what was dubbed as one of the best hopeful players to come out of Manchester United's academy. This is dead right. We are looking at another downfall of a great academy prospect, another England international that has fallen by the wayside with Mason Greenwood. Reports are that a fee of around 30 million is being discussed as well right now with Juventus for Mason Greenwood, and he is interested in that move. Like, Juventus, I don't know. Like, it's a big enough club, I think, for Mason Greenwood. They've got a massive fan base, obviously, a massive club in Italy. How far will he go in Italy? Like, where will they take what's happened off the pitch with Mason Greenwood? He has to look into all of this. But it just goes to show, like, the news, I think, leaking out regarding Mason Greenwood coming back, I think it's testers again. I feel like they are honestly looking at this as a chance to see where everyone is at with Mason Greenwood and the option of bringing him back. I think they're looking for fan reaction. It's being put out there quite a bit now, like Mason Greenwood, over the last couple of weeks. The window's coming closer, and there's a lot of talk about him possibly even returning to Manchester United. So we have to look at what's going on with that situation. We have to take it seriously, because I don't think the club are, and I've said this before at the start, like, the only reason I turned on Greenwood and thought that he would leave is because of the reaction, like, from Jude Bellingham over in Spain when that happened, and what he said and what was reported there. So that's going to be really interesting. If Mason Greenwood comes back, oh my God, they are risking it big time. Is that a risk that Ineos are willing to take? Because let's be honest, the football side of things, He is a straight replacement for Marcus Rashford. And you don't need to buy another forward this summer. Like, everything off the pitch, that's a nightmare that Ineos, if they're willing to take the chance on, then that's on them. But Greenwood comes in, I think, fits straight in on the right-hand side, personally. And Garnacho goes to the left with Rasmus Højlund in the middle. That's how they must be looking at it. I don't know. It will save them money. Spending caps and all of that that's coming in will actually start playing a part in all of their thinking right now, Ineos. It's going to be really interesting. Like, so many situations to sort out. What happens with Sancho if Ten Hag goes? Does he come back? We know that Dortmund are negotiating right now to try and keep Jadon Sancho. It's all over the place. It really is. Just like I say it every time, fasten your seatbelt when the summer comes, guys. When that final whistle blows in the FA Cup, just get yourself ready, because it is going off big time for Man United this summer. And I'll be all over it, bringing you everything that goes on. Like, it's kind of exciting in a way, like the unknown as to an exciting summer and something new as a United fan. Like, there's so much to sort out, and there's a lot of fear involved as well, but you can't help but feel excited about the possibility of change, can you? It is. It's starting to build up right now. I can feel it. Made a green sheet, heel Scott's knee. It's in a timely fashion. Super Scott Mctominay. I would gladly give him the magic sponge if it saved his Euros, mate, and saved his summer. Like, gutted for him. And Modern Samurai has dropped in some more memberships. Thank you so much, mate. They have gone to Drew, Ian, Ashid, Lewis, and Dan United. Dan United, welcome back to the Members Club, mate. You absolute legend. I've not seen you for a while. Glad to have you back in. And obviously, make sure you all please give a massive thank you to Modern Samurai. He is an absolute legend. We have another membership as well, gifted by Tom Porter. Another legend. Lee Cape Town has got that membership. That's 16 new members altogether for the one stream alone, guys. Fantastic. And obviously here on FUTV, I want you all to feel good. I want you all to be ready for that summer in best of health. And we have teamed up here on FUTV with Optimally Me, a brilliant company which takes the doctors and the stress of the hospital and the waiting room away from any issue that you have got. Test, blood test, water test, everything that you could possibly get at the doctors and the hospital in your home, in the comfort of your own home. Just do their quick and easy test with all the instructions laid out for you, and then results delivered straight back to you within 48 hours. Everything that you could possibly need, from fitness, from blood tests, from full checkups, all there on Optimally Me. Scan the QR code there on the left-hand side of your screen, guys. There is a link in the description as well, just for all the options. You can use my discount code for the test. They range from just £30 all the way up to some bigger tests, guys. So if you use that discount code, you're getting yourself a great deal. So please jump onto that and, yeah, make sure that everybody is fully fit and raring to go for what is going to be an epic summer. I need you all there, because we're going to need each other over this summer, guys. We really are. It is full on. Oh, I don't even know what words or how to actually describe what's coming this summer. What's your opinion on the squad cut, same money spent? Andrew Wright in the super chat. Welcome to the Members Club, Martin Harris as well. Gifted by the Verbal Kint. Thank you, Verbal Kint. And Martin, welcome along, my man. Love that. Another member in. In terms of Andrew Wright and that question there in the super chat, what's your opinion on squad cuts, same money spent? As in, what? Getting rid of players and spending the same amount? I don't think that's doable, honestly, because we're not going to make enough money from player sales. The report is 100 million is the net spend plus whatever extra we can get from player sales. Like, can we scrape together 100 million out of our squad and make that 200 million for this summer? I would say that's the minimum we need to bring in 4 good first team players. I sort of went back to 3 first team players as a minimum. I'll let them off with that if financial restraints are in play and worse than what we thought. Like we discussed earlier in this show, if there is a spending cap coming in and Manchester United are a bit stuck, then 3 first team players is where we need to go first. Forget about quantity. Quantity out, quality in. That's how Manchester United need to work. That's how Manchester United are going to have to approach this summer, I think. And I think Ineos are getting the reality of this now. That's why you're hearing the rumours that there may be a possibility for Mason Greenwood to get to come back to Manchester United. Who'd have thought that? Who'd have thought that? Like a month ago, after everything that's been going on. But yeah, the reality is Man United are probably going to be a little bit desperate in certain situations this summer as well. And it's going to take everything that they've got, all of their powers, to not just buckle to the pressure of going buying the obvious and paying what clubs want. I don't think Ineos will, but you just don't know. Looking forward to the podcast number 2, says Babs. Yep, 8 o'clock tonight, guys. The clock is ticking. 45 minutes till the launch of the latest episode, number 2. I think we should go for forwards and midfielders. Are you happy with that defence? Because I talked about Brandon Williams, Raphael Varane and RCL definitely going on free transfers, Modern Samurai. But Tom Heaton, Johnny Evans, there's another 2 that will probably be going. Yeah, it's great. And you know what? Willie Cambuella hasn't signed his contract yet. So he's another free agent in the summer, which is quite scary as well. And then we're looking at Lindelof going. Martinez, Maguire. Like, this is why Maguire's not going anywhere this summer. Like, his form this season and the fact that Man United have got no more defenders, I think tells you where Maguire is going to end up come the summer. Like, it ain't going to be away from Manchester United. I can tell you that now for nothing. I can tell you that for free, as the man in the fan vlogs was saying in the week. We're going to beat Man City in the final. That's what he said. I'm telling you for free. Love that. Adam, it's obvious that we can't score goals. No, we can't. We also can't keep clean sheets or defend. Like, I think bringing the defence closer up to the midfield is going to help us in gameplay. Like, can we press higher with a faster defence? I think that's a lot of... I think there's a lot of that in there as well, personally. I think that's where they're looking. If anyone lives local and wants to come and watch me, let me know. It's at Avro FC. So Kaz has got her final this Wednesday, guys. I might even stream live from the final. Not the game, but just do our roundup live outside on Wednesday night. So yeah, if anyone is about and wants to come, like, we've got more details on the podcast tonight as well, guys, on episode number 2. So yeah, just let us know. Just get your replies into that. We talk about that there as well. So yeah, if anyone is interested in coming and watching some decent football, and that's just Kaz, and the rest of the team's all right as well, I promise you. Then let's see Kaz lifting that trophy on Wednesday. So make sure you get plenty of big up in the chat. Imagine Evans retires, we sell Varane, and are left with Maguire and Lindelof again, says Dan United. It's the real circumstances, mate. That could happen. It really could. I don't think... Oh, God, we can't leave ourselves that short again. With the injuries that we've had this season, I think United, have changed tact in terms of the transfers and like who they can let go. I think they're actually looking at it differently because of this season and how it's gone down. Oh, man. Crazy. Any news on Leach's possible return? May. Hopefully we'll have him fit for the last game and the FA Cup final is what I heard last. So let's just see. Maybe a bit sooner. It's going to be nice to see him. And like, I don't know about Rafa. Rafa's already put that message out in terms of fighting to get back before the end of the season. There was fear, and I feared that we'd seen the last of him. That would be a sad end, wouldn't it? It would. A great player, and we just don't see him for the last 2 months of the season. That would be devastating. Nick says Maguire's value has gone up this season. In my opinion, now would be the best time to move him on and get max out for him next season. Might be too late. Next season will be too late because he's out of contract, mate. So, yeah, a decision needs to be had. If Harry Maguire does not leave Manchester United this summer, he's going for free the season after. Otherwise, he will be on a cut price deal, probably a rolling contract or some incentivized contract for probably half the wage of what he's on right now. Like, that's how we're doing it. Modern Samurai. Adam, the problem is we don't know what style we play. So looking for profiles is more difficult in my opinion. And maybe new centre-back don't fit. But it's always good to have people who can score. Yeah, it is, mate. Yeah, it is. And I definitely agree with that one. Austin says, Rashford doesn't have the right attitude or mentality to even be consistent. Needs to be sold. Don't even care for how much. Just get rid of all the dead weight. That's from Austin. Jan United, Jan Manchester says, I am going to grab food before the podcast. See y'all. Thanks, Jan. See you later. Enjoy the podcast, episode 2, out 8 o'clock tonight on United Couple, guys. The link is in the description as well. Drop in there if you're wondering what it is. United Couple on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. It's our podcast channel. Something completely different for you guys. And yes, let me just see now what else we've got in here. We have got over, we're creeping up to the 1,000 subscriber mark on the channel already, guys. So let's get to it. Where are we at now? What else is going on? Just double checking all of the news, guys, before we actually finish up. Bear with me 1 second. Just making sure that everything is cleared. Scott Mctominay has left a message on Instagram, guys. I'm just going to read this out. I slipped and felt awkward on my knee, similar to against Chelsea. Nothing serious, just hyperextensive, but I was angry and upset that I thought it was worse than it was. Hoping to be back on the pitch very soon to help the team as much as I can. Whoa, it has all changed. Scott McTominay has come out and just put everything out there and put it all to bed. Great news, Scott. Thank you very much for updating us on that. Absolutely loving that news and update. So all of the reports that were going on before, scaremongering, maybe, but Scott McTominay is okay. Hyperextending. Excuse me, fly. Hyperextending and not as bad as first thought. Hoping to be back soon. So Scotty is still hotter and his summer could still be on. So let's hope that Scotty does have a hottie summer and he is back in action soon. We may see, like, Scott's like he's like the Mctominay, isn't he? Like, he gets injured, he comes back. You just can't keep him down. Scotty's coming back, and I'm not going to say he's a saviour or anything like that. I'm just happy that a player's actually not as bad as first thought, and he's not going to have as much of a horrible summer as all the other reports were saying. So, yeah, absolutely buzzing with that one. But, guys, yeah, that does round everything up, and all of your United news and everything going on around the club. Louise says, love that he came out and gave us a good news instead of leaving it for Eric Ten Hag to mumble through a presser and tell us nothing. It's very true. Thank you, Scott. Louise is thanking you as well. We passed over the 250 like mark, guys. Thank you to all the new members from the show tonight. Love that. Absolutely brilliant. And we are all done, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for all your comments. Just before we go, we got another super chat from our Modern Samurai. Fear the power of the green sheet and magic sponge. There you go. You said it. I provided. Scott's okay. We move on. Hopefully he'll be back before the end of the season by the sounds of it. That would be nice. That's like actually having fit players for a change. That's all we want. But guys, we are done. Thank you so much. Make sure that you are ready. Episode 2 of United Couple Podcast is out 8 o'clock this evening, guys. The countdown is on. Less than 40 minutes to go. Drop in the description. The link is there. Go subscribe to the channel. It is our podcast channel. And give us your thoughts on everything from episode 2. Thank you, guys. We are all done. I will see you all tomorrow. Enjoy your evening. Get the popcorn out. Episode 2.